best like readers. I recommend almost everybody. Everybody should read this book. All right. Chapter 1, Mystery Girl. It all began on a beautiful spring morning in a village called Whistler in Canada, a pretty little village in the mountains of the British Columbia. There was a cafe in the village with the tables outside, and at one of these tables sat a young man. He finished his breakfast, drank his coffee, looked up into the blue sky, and felt the warm sun on his face. Nick Lotz was a happy man. All right? This guy called Nick is now in Canada. Or is he enjoying the morning or is he getting stressed? He's enjoying the very moment of the beautiful scenery, beautiful atmosphere, okay? All right? What does that mean? Atmosphere. That's right. 분위기. 분위기 or 환경. That's atmosphere. He's enjoying, he's actually observing the energy, the vibe, the positive energy that comes from the atmosphere. All right? So he's now enjoying the moment. And the waiter came up to his table and he said, "More coffee?" he asked. "Yeah, great," said Nick. He gave the waiter his coffee cup. Pour coffee here. The waiter looked at the camera on the table. Are you on vacation?" he said. "Where are you from?" "Oh, San Francisco." "This is the United States, a city in the United States." Nick said he left, but I'm not on a vacation, technically speaking. I'm working. I'm a travel writer, and I'm doing a book on mountains in North America. Underline. This is what Nick is doing in this city, in this town. What is he doing? Everybody, he is writing a book about mountains in North America. So he's travel writer. What is it? He's a travel writer. What a great job it is, right? You travel for free because the magazines pay you everything. Like 2 magazines or 1 magazine at least. The magazine pays you everything. Every covers your travel, expenses like hotel, food, transportation, and then hotel residence or accommodation and food, everything. Oh my gosh. Separate, what a great job. Try it again. What a great job he has. What about Michu? Do you think this job, teaching English, what a great job? Is it a great job? Guys, do you think it's easier for me?
Yeah.
Right? Stop. So he's a travel writer. All right?
Yeah.
So I've got some great pictures of your mountains. So both of them, like the waiter, Nick, are looking at the mountain tops like, wow. Right? They're observing the vibe. All right? So I've got great pictures of your mountain. Next. And the two men looked up at Whistler Mountain behind the village. It looked very beautiful in the morning sun. And then, even the background music is making this atmosphere perfect. Sha la 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 la, sha la 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 la, like that. And then he said, "Do you travel a lot then?" asked the waiter. "All the time," he said. "I write books. I write for travel magazines, like 여행 잡지s. And I write about everything, different country, different town, different villages, different rivers, different mountains, different people. The waiter looked over Nick's head. And then, hey, there's a girl across the street. There's a girl. He said, do you know her? And Nick turned his head and looked. No, I don't. I don't know her. Well, you know, she knows you, I think. She knows you, the waiter said. And she's watching you very carefully. Ooh-hoo-hoo-hoo. He gave Nick a smile. And then he said, have a nice day. And he went away and back into the cafe. Nick looked at the girl across the street. And she was about 25. 25살쯤 됐다. I will do it today. All right? And then here we go. So she was about 25 and she was very pretty. And then Nick thought, oh, she's watching me. Miju, would you watch me? Like that. Oh, she's watching me. Oh, yes. Okay. And then the girl turned and she looked in one of the show windows. And after a second or two, she looked back at Nick again. Nick. Nick watched her. Oh, yes. She looked worried. Hey, looks like she is experiencing. She's having some trouble. She looks worried, he thought. What is she doing? Is she waiting for somebody? 누구를 기다리고 있기는 할까? Suddenly, the girl smiled. And then she walked across the street. 또각, 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 또각. And then what? Nick's heart started pounding. That's right. She came up to Nick's table and sat down like this, right? And sat down and she put her back down on the table. The table was half open. 반쯤 열린 가방. Hi, I'm Jan. Is she really Jan? She said. Do you remember me? We met at a party in Toronto. We met at a party. Hi, Jan, said Nick. He smiled. I'm Nick, but we didn't meet at a party in Toronto. I don't go to parties very often. And never in Toronto. Oh, the girl said. But she didn't get up and move away. She just stayed there. Have some coffee, said Nick. The story about the party in Toronto wasn't true, but it was a beautiful morning, and she was a pretty girl. She was a pretty girl. Maybe it was a party in Montreal, New York. Maybe there, not Toronto. Because she was so beautiful, Nick didn't want to leave her. Nick didn't want her to go away. I want her to stay here with me. So he lied. 거짓말했어. The girl laughed. Okay, maybe it was. Yes. And I love some coffee. When she had her coffee, Nick asked, what are you doing in Whistler? Or do you live here? Oh, no, she said. I'm just, hey, why She's making up story. Making up a story. Okay, 지어내는 거야. Story maker. Just traveling through. I'm just traveling. And what are you doing here? What are you doing here?
What are you doing here?
니는 뭐 하는데? She asks. What are you doing here? And Nick says what? I'm a travel writer. I'm a travel writer. And I'm writing a book about famous mountains. I'm writing a book. And she said, what, everybody? That's interesting. Oh, that's interesting, she said. But her face was worried. Like this. She worried. Okay? and not interested. Because, Nick kept talking, but she was like, oh. She's very worried. She doesn't pay attention to what he says. She doesn't pay attention to what he says.
What he said.
그러니까 닉이 하는 말 신경 안 써. 그냥 막 산만하게 막 주변을 막 경계하고 있는 거야. Okay? She looked across the road again. 그리고 저 길 건너편에 누군가를 쳐다보는 거야. 지훈이처럼 생긴 애가 있는 거야. A man with a very short and white hair walked across the road. 길 건너편에 하얀 머리가 하얀 남자가 짧은 머리라고는 길을 건너가는 모습이 보이는 거야.
60. 거의 미래 선생.
약 60 years old. 60살 때 보는 거야. He was tall and thin. 그는 키 크고 Oh no, not me. Tall guy and thin guy. You're it. 너야. The girl watched him. 그 여자가 그를 빤히 관찰하는 거야. 읽어볼까요? Are you waiting for someone?
Are you waiting for someone?
Try it again. Are you waiting for someone?
Are you waiting for someone?
Okay. No,
No.
she said quickly. And then she asked, Oh, where are you going next? Nick, where are you going next? 네 다음에 어디 갈 끼고? To Vancouver.
밴쿠버?
Yeah, for 3 or 4 days. I'll be there in Vancouver.
밴쿠버.
Right? Look at that. And she said, When are you going?
When are you going?
When are you going to Vancouver? She asked. Later this morning. 오늘 오전 나중에 늦은 오전에. He said. There was a letter in the top of the girl's half open bag. 그녀가 반쯤 열어놓은 가방 속에 편지한 게 있는 거야. Nick could see some of the writing. 그 편지 일부를 볼 수 있었어. He read it. 읽었어. 나쁘네. So everybody. He
나쁘네.
was
나쁘네.
he wasn't
He wasn't
supposed
supposed
to read
to read
her letter.
her letter.
이거 꼭 적으세요.
의도가 아니었다.
비슷해요. 이런 거 굉장히
의도가
영어
아니었다.
아니요. 뭐뭐 해서는 안 된다. 이런 뜻이에요. 그녀는 뭐 해서는 안 된다는 거야?
읽어서는 안 됐었다.
예, 그녀의 편지를 읽어서는 안 되었다.
근데 wasn't면 되는 거 아니야?
예, was면 해서는 안 되었었다. 그러니까 읽으면 안 됐던 그 편지를 읽은 거야. Alright? Because he saw the word Vancouver. 그 편지에 밴쿠버라는 단어가 보였어. And we can meet at the Empress Victoria. 이 빅토리아에 있는 호텔, 밴쿠버 섬에 있는 빅토리아 엠프리스 호텔에서 만날 수 있어. On Friday afternoon. 금요일 오후. So, she's going to Vancouver too. 얘도 밴쿠버 가네. She's going to Vancouver too. And I say, hey, where are you going? Let's pretend I'm a girl. Hey, handsome boy, where are you going? Where are you going after this? Where are you going? Are you going to Samge? And I'm going to Samge too.
Something.
Where are you going after this? Miju, where are you going after this? This class, after this class. Where are you going?
집이요.
Home?
네.
Where is this, your home?
네.
Where is your house?
압송이요.
I'm going to your home too. I'm going to your home. Just kidding. Hey,
Yeah.
Eva, where are you going after this?
I'm going to buy home.
You're going to your home. Where is your home?
My house is.
I'm going there too.
그 선생님 쇼츠 봤어요.
Alright. And suddenly, 갑자기, the girl said, Do you like movies? 느닷없이. 영화 좋아요? Movies? Yes, I love movies. And he said, Why? I know a man. He loves movies. He's going to the cinema. And she said slowly, people call him Mr. Hollywood. Underline. 이게 영어 이 책 제목이죠.
어디죠?
나 남자 하나를 알아요. 근데 그 사람은 영화를 엄청 좋아해요. 나는 한 남자를 아는데요. 그 사람은 영화를 좋아해요. 그 사람 영화 극장에 가요. 그녀가 천천히 말했어. 사람들은 그를 미스터 헐리우드라고 불러요. 이 헐리우드는 아니죠. 미국의 영화 찍는 도시. LA에 있는 한 지역이죠. She smiled at Nick and can I call you Mr. Hollywood too? 제가 닉을 그냥 미스터 헐리우드라고 불러도 될까요? Nick laughed. Okay, he said. What can I call you? 그럼 제가 당신을 어떻게 부를까요? She smiled again. Call me Mystery Girl. Mystery Girl로 불러줘요. Mystery Girl. And Mystery Boy. Mystery Girl. That's a good name for you. That's a good name for you. 이름 괜찮네요. Mystery Girl. Just then, the man with the white hair, that guy, 흰머리한 남자, and he came into the cafe. He did not look at Nick or a girl. 닉이나 그 여자를 쳐다보지 않았어. He just sat at a table near them. 그들 근처에 탁자에 그냥 앉았던 그 자리에. He asked the waiter for some breakfast. 아침 식사를 주문했네. And then he began to read a magazine. 잡지를 읽기 시작해. The girl looked at the man. And quickly looked away. And then what? Nick asked her, "Do you know him? Do you know him? Do you know him?"
너 그렇게 말아.
No, she said. She finished her coffee quickly. And got up. I must go now, she said. 이제 가야 돼요. Nick stood up too. Nice to... He began. But the girl suddenly took his face right between the hands and he kissed him on his mouth. 얼굴에 손을 잡더니
쥐에다가.
그녀의 손으로 그리고 입술에다 그의 입술에 키스를 한 거야. Oh my god.
여자가요?
Yes. All right. And drive carefully, Mr. Hollywood. Goodbye. 운전 조심해, 자기야.
오야.
안녕, she said, with a big, beautiful smile. Then she turned and walked quickly away. Nick sat down again and watched her. Oh, beautiful girl. She kissed me. She kissed me on my lips. Oh my gosh. She walked down the road and into a big hotel. Now what? 이제는 어떡하지? 어떡하지? Thought Nick. Was that all about? What was that all about? 아니, 그녀가 왜 저런 짓을 했지? 이게 다 무슨 의미야? The man with the white hair watched Nick and waited. Nick. The girl kissed him. Something's going on. 뭔가 지금 벌어지고 있어. Okay? After 4 and 5 minutes, 4, 5분 뒤에, Nick finished his coffee and took his books and his camera and left the cafe. His car was just outside the girl's hotel. And he walked slowly along the street to it. 또각, 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 또각. The man with the white hair, 흰머리 남자, waited a second. 잠시 기다렸어. And then quickly followed Nick. 갑자기 닉을 빨리 쫓아가기 시작해. From a window high up in the hotel. 호텔 높은 창 그곳에서 the girl, 아까 만난 그 여자가 looked down into the road. 길의 도로를 향해 쳐다보고 있어. She saw Nick. 닉이 보여. And the man with the white hair. 그리고 50 yards behind him. 닉 뒤에 약 50야드 거리를 두고 흰머리의 남자가 따라가고 있어. Nick got into his car. And the man with the white hair walked quickly to a red car across the street. 그러더니 갑자기 길 건너편에 주차되어 있는 빨간 자동차로 그 흰머리 남자가 걸어가기 시작해. 재빨리. 5 seconds later, 5초 뒤, Nick drove away in his blue car. 닉은 그의 파란색 차를 타고 가버려. Blue! You win. Okay, 3 point, 3 point.
No, 2.
2-2, okay. And the red car began to follow. 그래서 닉을 따라 빨간색 자동차도 따라가기 시작하지. Okay? When the girl saw this, 그 여자가 그 모든 광경, 닉의 차를 쫓아가는 그 하얀 머리의 남자의 차를 쳐다보면서 she smiled. 그녀는 의미심장한 미소를 지어. Then 그리고 went to put something in her travel bag. 그녀의 여행 가방 속에 뭔가를 집어넣어. Chapter 2. So everybody, Chapter 2.
Chapter 2.
A hand in the bag.
A hand in the bag.
뒤쪽에 손 하나. That evening,
That evening.
in his hotel room,
In hotel.
Vancouver,
In Vancouver.
Nick
Nick
couldn't stop thinking about the girl
couldn't stop thinking about
in the Whistler Cafe.
in the Whistling Cafe.
닉은 위슬러 카페에서 만났던 그 여자에 대해서 생각을 멈출 수가 없어. Oh, she is very beautiful. Oh. And she kissed me. Oh my gosh. Why did she come
Why did she come
and sat with me?
and sit with me?
그녀는 왜 나한테 와서 내 옆에 앉았을까? Right. And then why did she come and sit with me? She didn't know him. And that story about a party in Toronto wasn't true. 그녀가 말했던 토론토에서의 파티도 사실이 아니야. She was worried. 근데 그녀는 걱정이 많아 보였어. About something. But what? 근데 그게 뭐였을까? What? That kiss. 그녀가 그에게 했던 그 키스. It was nice. 물론 좋았지. Of course. But why did she do it? 대체 그녀는 왜 그랬을까? Maybe she liked my face. 나 이래 잘생긴 얼굴을 좋아했을까? 나 이 잘생긴 얼굴이 마음에 들었을까?
잘생긴이라고 안 적혀 있어요.
My face. Look at my
face.
hey.
New face.
New face.
Surfing. 표면.
Nick thought. 이 잘생긴 얼굴 진짜. Or my brown eyes 아니면 나 이리 갈색 눈. I'm not going to see her again. 설마 나는 그녀를 다시는 보지 못하겠지. So, 그러니 it doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter.
아유, 뭔 상관이야. Forget it. 다 잊어. He put some money. Read after me. He put some money
He put some money
in his pocket.
in his pocket
Went downstairs
and went downstairs
to the hotel restaurant.
to the hotel restaurant.
But
But
there were no
there
free
were no
tables.
free tables.
So
So
he walked down
he walked
to
down
Guest Town
Guest Town
and found
and found
a restaurant there.
a restaurant.
After dinner,
After dinner,
he
he
went for a walk.
went for a walk.
산책 나갔어. Vancouver
Vancouver
was a friendly city.
was a friendly
매우 친근하고 친절한 도시였어. Nick
city,
liked
like
walking through
walking through
Gaston
Gaston,
in Chinatown,
Chinatown,
looking in the shops,
looking in the shop
watching the people.
and watching the people.
It was nearly dark now.
It was nearly
거의 이제 날이 어둑어둑어지게 될 쯤이었어. And it was
and it was
a busy time
a busy time
of the evening.
of the evening.
There were a lot of cars
There were a lot of cars
and a lot of people.
and a lot of people.
After a time,
After a time,
얼마 뒤 Nick
Nick
began to walk
began to walk
back to his hotel.
back to his hotel.
He came to
He came
a busy street
to a busy street
and waited
and waited
with a small crowd
with a small crowd
of people
of people
to cross. 건너려고 여러 명의 사람과 건널목에서 기다리고 있었어. A tall woman
A tall woman
in a blue dress.
in a
또 여자다 또 여자. 자꾸 한눈판에. 파란색 치마에 키 큰 여성 stood next to him.
next to him.
She turned
She turned
and smiled at him.
and smiled at him.
그럼 닉은 또 어떻게 생각해? 아, 또 이 잘생긴 얘한테 또 바나나. 모든 여자들 나한테 빠지네. 아, 진짜. It was
It was
first
first
warm evening
warm evening
of spring. 여자가 말을 걸어. 아, 올 봄에 가장 따뜻한 날이네요. It's nice to be out.
It's nice to
아,
be
이
out
외출하기는 참 좋아요, 그렇죠? After the long,
after the long
cold
cold
winter. 아, 그 긴 겨울을 지나고 아, 정말 따스한 이 햇살 너무 좋죠, 그렇죠? 그러니까 yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yep.
yeah, come on. It's great.
It's great.
It
It's
suddenly
suddenly
there was a hand
there was a
in his back.
his
갑자기 그의 등 뒤에 손 하나가 나타나더니 and the hand
and the
pushed
hand
Nick into the road. 그 손은 닉을 도로로 밀쳐버렸어. Nick
knee
fell
fell
on his face. 얼굴 방향으로 그는 쓰러지게 됐어. In front of a big green car. 바로 눈앞에 엄청나게 큰 차가 자기 앞에 멈춘 거야. 그러니까 어떻게 된 거야? 어떤 모습인 거야?
네타 이건
이렇게 차가 있고
이렇게 해서
기다리고 있는데 닉은 어떻게 해? 얼굴을 이렇게 OTL 이런 식으로
이 사람인데 철부다.
이렇게 쓰러진 거야.
이거
도로에.
지금 뺑 중이야.
그렇게 된 거야. 바로 차 바로 앞에 이렇게 된 거죠. 네, 맞아요. 그러면서 뭐라 그래? And the green car stopped. People screamed.
People screaming.
사람들이 비명을 내서 One, two, three. But the green car stopped. 그 자동차가 아주 타이밍 좋게 멈춘 거야. Only inches
Inches.
from Nick's head. 닉의 머리에서 몇 인치만 떨어진 거야. 1인치가 여러분 몇 센치예요?
3cm.
아니요.
2.6
2.6cm 정도 돼요. 그러니까 거의 뭐 한 10cm도 안 되는 이 간격에서 차가 멈춘 거지. 잘못하면 뚝배기가 털릴 뻔했죠. The woman in the blue dress. 갑자기 파란 치마를 입은 여성이 ran into the road. 도로에 뛰어들었어. 그리고 닉을
발로 쳐.
끌어당겼어. 그러더니 Are you okay?
아니 오케이.
괜찮아요?
많이
많이 놀랐었죠? 이런 거죠. What happened? 무슨 일이 일어난 건가요? She said. The driver of the green car, 그 초록색 자동차의 그 운전사가 shouted angry at 닉을 향해 소리를 지르는데 화가 나지. 너를 어디다 두고 다니는 거야? 미쳤어? 죽고 싶어? 이렇게 한 거예요. You want to die? What the hell are you thinking? 무슨 생각으로 뛰어든 거야? Nick did not hear him. 닉은 그 사람의 말을 들을 만큼 신경을 쓸 수 없었어. 듣지 못했어. Somebody
Somebody
pushed me. 온놈이 나를 밀었어. He said to the woman. 온놈이 저를 밀었어요라고 그 여자한테 말한 거야. I didn't fall. 저는 혼자서 넘어진 게 아니에요. Somebody pushed me. 온놈이 나를 밀었어요. 온놈이. Push you? 당신을 밀었다고요? Said the woman. Who? 누가요? I didn't see anybody. 주변에 아무도 없었는데요? 보이지 않는 손. Nick looked at. Everybody, Nick 같이 읽어볼까요? Looked at
looked
the
at
faces
the faces
of the people
of the people
near him,
near him.
but
But
he didn't know them.
he didn't
그래서
know them.
얼굴 확 돌려가지고 보는 거. 이 사람 아니고 모르는 사람. 누구지? 누가 나면 당신이 밀어? Did you push me? Did you push me? Did you push me? 이렇게 물어.
이게 뭐지?
Then he saw a man's back. 모두 다 자기를 향해 쳐다보고 있어서 얼굴을 확인하고 있었는데 한 남자만이 등을 돌리고 저쪽으로 가고 있는 거야. The man
The man
was tall
was tall
and thin.
and thin.
키가 크고 야윈, 빼빼한 남자였어. And had very short white hair. 매우 짧은 흰 머리를 가진 남자. He walked quickly. 그는 재빨리 걸어가. away down the street. 길거리를 빠른 걸음으로 걸어갔어. And did not look back. 뒤를 쳐다보지도 않지. Hey you! Nick shouted. 어이 거기! 당신! 거기서 기다려! 입니다. 같이요. But
But
the man
the man
did not stop.
did not stop.
And he
And he
was soon lost
was soon lost
in the
in
clouds.
the crowd.
crowd는 무리 중에서 그는 사라졌어. Did he push you?
Did you see
저 사람이 당신을 밀었나요? Asked the woman in the blue dress. I don't know.
I don't know.
Nick said.
Nick says.
Do you know him?
Do you know
She asked. I don't know his name. Nick said. But
But
I know that.
I know that
Short,
short
white hair.
white hair.
Now,
Now,
where did I see it before?
where did I see
어디서 본 것 같은데 내가 어디서 봤더라? The woman
the woman
began to move away.
began to move over?
I must get home. 아 집에 가야 돼요. She said. Are you okay now?
Are you okay now?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm okay.
I'm okay.
Nick said. And thanks.
And
Thanks for your help.
thank you for
That's okay.
That's okay.
The woman smiled. Be careful now.
Be careful now.
Back in his hotel,
Nick
sat
sat
on his bed
on his bed
and thought.
thought
It was an accident.
it was accident.
그건 사고였어. Nobody
Nobody
pushed me.
pushed.
아무도 날 밀진 않았어. It was an accident.
It was an accident.
그건 사고였을 뿐이야. Nobody
Nobody
wants to kill me.
wants to.
아무도 나를 죽이고 싶지 않은 거야. 아무도 나를 죽이려 하지 않아. And there are
And there are
hundreds of men
hundreds of men
in Vancouver
in the Vancouver
with white hair.
with white hair.
그리고 밴쿠버에는 흰머리의 남성이 수백 명이 있을 거 아니야. 아니야. 그래 막 자기가 스스로 어떻게
죄책감.
만났던
안도시키려.
그렇죠. 스스로를 안심시키려는 그런 의도죠. It was
It was
1 o'clock
1 o'clock
in the morning.
in the
새벽 1시. It was 1 o'clock in the morning. But
But
Nick
Nick
couldn't sleep.
couldn't
He listened to
he listened to
the cars
cars
in the road.
in the road
And he looked at
and he
the night sky through
through
his hotel room window.
hotel room window.
Then
Then
he sat
he sat
at the table
at the table
and tried
tried
to write
to write
some more
some more
of his book
of his book
about mountains.
about mountains.
But
But
he
he
couldn't think about
couldn't think about
his work.
his work.
He got back
He got back
into bed.
into bed.
There were
There were
4 or 5 magazines
or 5 men
in the hotel room.
in the hotel room.
They were not
They were not
interesting.
very interesting.
Very interesting. But
But
Nick sat
Nick sat
in bed
in bed
and opened one
and opened the door
and he saw
and saw
a photo.
a photo
Mystery girl.
of mystery girl.
그 밴쿠버 위슬러 카페에서 맡은 그 여자의 사진이 잡지에 있었던 거야. 와우, 잡지 기사에. He looked at
He looked
the
at
picture
the picture
very carefully.
very carefully.
But
But
yes,
yes,
it was her,
it was her.
Jen,
Jen,
the girl
the girl
from the Whistler Cafe.
from the Whistler Cafe.
잡지 기사에 그녀의 사진이 있었던 거야. Wow. She was
She
next
was next
to a man
to a man
of
of
about 50 or 55.
50 or 50.
50에서 55세 사이의 남자. And they were
And they were
in the garden of
in the garden of
big
a big
expensive house. 아, 셈 아니네. 아주 비싼 집에 있는 정원에서 사진을 찍은 거. 나 아니야. They smiled
They smiled
at the camera
at the camera.
and they
And they
looked
looked
very happy.
very happy.
Canadian millionaire.
Canadian
several millionaire.
millionaire.
백만
백만자.
장자. Howard Huston. 하워드 허슨. 하워드 허슨과 his daughter,
His daughter.
Meg.
Meg.
그러면 그 여자 이름은
Meg.
맥인 거야. 그러니까 자기 아빠와 함께 찍은 사진이 잡지에 실린 거지. 아빠는 백만장자. It said 이 잡지 기사에 이렇게 적혀 있어. Under the picture
Under the picture.
그 그림 사진 아래
Their home.
at their home in Toronto. Meg Hudson,
Meg us.
not Jen. 여자는 자기가 뭐야? 가라. 짜가 이름을 가르친 거죠. Not Mr. Eagle.
Not Mr.
Mr. Eagle도 아니고 젠도 아니야. Meg Hudson,
Meg.
the daughter of a millionaire.
Over millionaire.
Nick read it again.
Nick read it again.
Why did she come
Why did she come
and sit with me
and sit with me
in the cafe
in the cafe
at Whistler?
at Whistler?
He thought,
He thought
millionaires'
millionaire
daughters
daughter
don't sit
don't sit
with
with
strangers.
strangers. 낯선.
낯선이. 즉 뭐야? 백만장자의 딸들은 카페 같은 데서 알지도 못하는 낯선 사람 앞에과 함께 앉지 않는데 왜 그녀는 그런 행동을 해? 심지어 뭐까지 했어?
Kiss.
키스까지. Then 그리고 gave them
Gave them
a big kiss. 이렇게 진한 키스를 하지도 않는데 when they're leave 그들 떠날 때는 Why did she do it? 그녀는 왜 그랬을까? What did she want? 그녀는 도대체 뭘 원했을까?